Last week at the Pro Rough Stock Frontier Challenge, bareback rider Seth Hardwick picked up his second gold buckle of the season with a win that moved him into contention for a spot at the World Finals. Bull rider Dave Samsel became our fourth season leader after an 88-point ride on PRS Buck and Bull of the Year, Flying Train. And chalk up another win for bronc rider J.J. Elsher, who continues to set records with his fifth Tour victory of the season. Can anyone slow him down? We'll begin to find out as the PRS Tour rolls west to the Portland Open. Welcome, everyone, to the beautiful Pacific Northwest in the Rose capital of the country, Portland, Oregon. We are at the historic Veterans Memorial Coliseum in downtown Portland, where the NBA's Portland Trail Blazers clinched a world title in 1977. It's where the Beatles rocked the house with 40,000 screaming fans during a two-night stop on their 1965 U.S. tour. And, as Paul McCartney might put it, it's where a hard day's night could help one of our riders earn a ticket to ride in the PRS World Finals. Glad you could join us here in Portland. I'm Justin McKee, along with PBR World Finalist Gordon McCoy and World Champion bareback rider Kelly Timmerman. And earlier tonight in the opening ceremonies, the PRS took an opportunity to showcase the livestock, and it was a classy exhibition.
Yeah, under the spotlights, what we had tonight was we had a stud horse, two mares, and their colts. You know, when Mama goes to work, we bring along the colts with them. It's great to see these little ones go around in a circle and kicking up their heels at the crowd. And the well-being of our livestock in the PRS is an absolute importance. And our stock contractors like Bar T Pro Rodeo share that same ethic.
So, Gordon, we're going to start off with bareback riding, and what can we look forward to?
Well, two things, really. Last time we were out west in Everett, Washington, Josie Young and Brian Bain had a duel. Head-to-head, Josie Young actually came out on top, but those two are back with that. Josie has an added bonus this time. If he makes the Wrangler round tonight, he could overtake Justin McDaniel for the season lead. The second thing is our third-place rider, Cimarron Gerke. He's got a horse of Bar T's named Twice Shy. This was the horse that Tanner Bergen was 92 points on in the long round at Everett. It could be the ticket that Cimarron needs tonight to move up into the standings.
All right, let's head to the chutes, and Morgan Wild from McCammon, Idaho will be our first rider on the wild side. Bar T Rodeo Company horse wild side, Tanner Bergener, 87 points at the short round in Everett. And this is a aptly named bucking horse. Wild side is all over the place.
You know, he's got a decent start. That horse come out of there, and when she really set up, his toes went in and he lost contact with his spurs and kind of lost the horse. She wanted to set up and really buck right there, and you can see how that foot dropped down and she moved away. That's why it's such importance to keep those spurs in contact with that horse's neck in that spurring motion.
75.5. He likes it, Mo Wild. Now let's go to Brian Jones of Elko, Nevada, and you like this horse, don't you, Kelly?
Tiger Lily, this is my matchup for the night. This is the horse that is definitely first place if you put a good ride on her. Really blows out hard, gets him right into his hand right off the bat, and a horse of that quality, man, you've got to make sure you get that solid start.
I think that's not Tiger's first rodeo. You see that horse stick his head over the gate and beat him out of the box, looked like to me.
Yeah, and you know, when they leave there with their head over the chute like that, that's kind of one of those deals. It's really hard to get that start, but you can see as soon as she did that, it put him right into that left arm, right on that leg, and then a horse of that quality. Look at that kick when she bucks him off. I mean, that mare right there has been world-class for a long time, and she hasn't skipped a beat.
Let's go now to Shane Moore in Banks, Oregon, on a horse called Bet On Me from Tim Bridwell out of California.
Yeah, this is a nice little horse, just going to circle around to the left. Really starts good, wants to set up. You know, he never really got a good hold with his feet, kind of got away from him at the end. You know, they're going to mark the horse really good, but probably not the ride so much.
That's a nice horse, though. You know, you see a lot of the guys that are winning get those horses set up and almost help the horses through the ride. There at the end, he wasn't giving that horse any help. The horse was just going on away from him.
The horse is jumping and kicking good until right now he goes side saddle. Nearly upside down, clear over on the left side, and that's when the horse says, hey, you're going to check out, so am I. 77 take the lead for right now, but wait till you see this matchup right now. So Cimarron Gerke getting ready on Twice Shy. Let's take a look at last week and what happened to Cimarron Gerke.
Yeah, Cimarron Gerke had a horse called Rodeo Nightmare, and it was a nightmare. Threw him into the chute, busted his nose open, gave him a little bit of a fracture. He's got 4 stitches in his nose right now coming into Portland. He told me today he feels great. He's ready to ride.
Yeah, but he's number 3 in points for the year-end championship, so he's got to ride. This is a horse Tanner Bergener was 92 points on at Everett, and look at Cimarron Gerke go at this one.
Classic form to the end, Cimarron Gerke. You could see he's having a little bit of trouble in his starts. He's not getting those feet in contact, and he's not keeping them up there. One thing for the rest of the year, he definitely needs to watch some film, see how his feet are dropping and they're not staying in contact. He's got to solidify that if he wants to jump up and have a real run for the World Championship.
Had lacked a little bit to be desired there at the beginning. You're right, Kelly. As we watch it on slow, judges maybe were not affected as much as you were. 85 points for Cimarron Gerke.
Yeah, I thought he made a great ride on a nice horse. I just want him to be about 87.
There you go. Brian Bain, B-Money, 16th for the season right now. And Gypsy Soul from Tim Bridwell.
That's what we talk about, the mark out the start. He's dragging it up to his rigging handle, setting his feet before that horse's front feet hit the ground, and he stands about 6'2", so that's quite an effort for a guy that length.
Man, what a great ride. Powerful ride by Brian Bain, who was second in Everett 2 stops ago, where he was 91.5 and a 90, and he is gapped open and going at this horse here tonight.
That's a nice draw. Great ride, 87
great
points.
Ride.
Way to showcase.
Josie Young trying to catch Justin McDaniel for the season. He missed the opportunity last week. He's only 411 points behind Justin McDaniel, and McDaniel's not here. This horse is hopping and skipping and not giving Josie much of an opportunity to show off his spur ride.
Yeah, you know, this is a young horse. She was real wild in the chutes when they first run in there. Kind of hard to get his rigging pulled. Looks like the rigging's a little bit high. Kind of wants to set him up right there. And, you know, Josie never did get his toes turned out and give that horse a solid start to kind of try to shorten her up. But in the same instant, the horse really never gave him a good ability to do that. So it's either, you know, it's a judge decision. Was the horse rank enough to get a re-ride? Did Josie give the appropriate effort to get the re-ride? And in their decision, no, they did.
No.
73 points is where it stands.
Not going to make the Wrangler Final Four showdown round for next week's show, but these are the guys that are moving on. Let's take a listen to Brian Bain and his thoughts on that big 87.
Oh, big part of rodeo is drawing the right ones, and that's the nice thing about the PRS events is we get to get on good stock. They're screened well and get a chance to get on one that you can show your stuff.
Still to come, Ohio's Shane Rickley is getting ready to ride B. Bard's Little Devil. Welcome back to Veterans Memorial Coliseum here in Portland, Oregon, as we get ready for bull riding at the PRS Portland Open. Cord, tell us what you're looking at.
We had a leaderboard change after last weekend in Loveland as Dave Sansel covered both of his bulls, including the 88-point ride on Flying Train in the Wrangler round. Sansel isn't here this weekend, but McKinnon Wimberly is. And after a 90-point ride on Legend last weekend, he brings the momentum right here to Portland.
We'll begin with Mike Sparks of Caldwell, Idaho. Crooked Horn is the bull from B. Bardee Rodeo Company. And to the left he goes, moving ahead a little bit. But I think he's going to make it 5, 6, 7, and 8 if he doesn't get mauled before he gets out of there.
Yeah, the Bulls doesn't know that there's a whistle blowing. It's not like other sports where everything just stops when the whistle blows. This bull, you know, he's spinning to the left, but he's got to ride him as a jumping kicker. He's got to make that move forward every time. So I tell you what, as a bull rider looking in, that's a pretty nice bull ride right there.
83 points for Mike Sparks to set the pace here in Portland bull riding. Sonny Murphy, where has he been? Oh, man, out of Tremonton, Utah, been to the Wrangler National Finals, kind of fell off the map for a while, and he's on full throttle from
Go
Two
ahead.
Bucks Rodeo Bulls.
Oh, that was started a heck of a bull ride right there. That bull was a hopping, just waiting for him to set up one jump, and here he come around there.
Now, slow motion looks good. Good form around there. Moving to the left away from his hand. He gets
over
behind, and then he's trying to grit it out.
You could tell he knew he was late, and he kind of did that Hail Mary over there, tried to throw over in there, but it wasn't enough.
Too little, too late. 6.1 is not long enough as we go to Willis Trosclair. Last year, he won 2 events on tour, finished number 2 for the championship. He is on the unridden bull, or for a year, that is, Who the man is the bull, and Willis Troscare out of Louisiana is going to get a score.
Smart. You see, this bull hasn't been rode since Brendan Clark back in 2013, but it's not for rank. That bull is smart. He's just waiting for Willis to make a commitment so he can step away from him. Once he gets over in there, that bull is going forward. That doesn't get him to try something else.
That bull, he threw out the bait, but Willis didn't take it. What you talking about, Willis? 82.5.
He didn't jump in the well. Good job, Willis.
All right, Shane Rickley, number 5 out of Ohio. He's got that little devil bull we were talking about. Here's the Eastern Cowboy. Has got a centered seat on the back of this bull for the full 8 seconds. And Shane Rickley continues to stay in this year's race for the championship.
Oh, little devil kind of messed up with Shane there. That bull was leaving his blinker on. See how that bull's kind of got his head tilted over there?
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't even thinking about going a different direction. So once he coming around the corner, I think Shane, he knew he had him tapped out and rode. He's ready for his next one.
Good shot on our Rocky replay, and 83.5 will take the lead in this round so far as we go to John Jacobs, who was the leader. He was number 1 until last week in Loveland. He slipped down to number 3. He's still close for the championship this year. He's going up against Redneck.
Oh, he kind of got him a bad jump there in the middle. You see that bull kind of kicked up in that gate and threw off the momentum just a smidge, and I think that might have helped cause him buck off.
This is John Jacobs, who had the shoulder problem and had to miss several events, and he let McKinnon and Dave Samsel get ahead of him. As we go to McKinnon Wimberley, he's the number 2 rider, just a tick behind Dave Samsel for the championship. He's on poison control. The reigning champ has got the lockdown on this one.
Go ahead, McKinnon. That's just flawless riding right there.
And he's hungry for a win. He won in Jacksonville, but he's been second at Rapid City, at Roanoke, and Loveland. He's ready for a win, Cord.
McKinnon, he knows pressure, and he knows when he's got to stay on. And you're kind of coming down to the end of the season, the end of the year. If he wants a PRS world title, he's got to ride them all.
Well, he's off to a good start this weekend, 88.5. He handily will win this round as well. And there you go, familiar spot for McKinnon Wimberley. This is what he thought of the night's action.
Yeah, it's been a fight, and still going to be a fight up till the end. And it's 3 great bull riders. You got me, and you got John Young, and you got Dave Samsel, and we're all riding great, and we're on top of our game, and we're drawing good bulls. We get to get on good bulls every event we come to, and God's blessed us to be able to hit the trail in the PRS, and we're fighting for it.
They are fighting for it indeed. Coming up, unlike Elvis, Saddle Bronc rider season leader J.J. Elsher is in the building. Will he leave here with yet another 2014 event title? Find out when we come back. Roughstock fans, tickets are on sale now for the PRS World Finals February 2nd and 3rd in Rapid City, South Dakota. Why don't you join us at the Rushmore Plaza Civic Center? We're going to crown the 2014 season champions during the famous Black Hill Stock Show. You might as well be there. You need to log on to ProRoughstock.com and reserve your tickets right now. We're ready for Saddle Bronc riding, and Kelly, you've got an injury update for us, don't you?
Eric Wolford, who's leading the way for all-around top 10 in both bareback and saddle bronc, has a fractured vertebrae that he suffered in his neck at the American Qualifier round in Loveland last week. Dr. Skip Ross has looked him over and has recommended he not go in the bareback, but Eric has elected to ride the saddle bronc tonight. He's got Pinot Pass of Bartiz. He's a handful, and with Eric, we'll need every bit of try and toughness to make a ride tonight.
Well, here they are, the number 7 Bronc Stomper in the PRS, Eric Wolford, going up against Pinto Pass, riding with a cracked vertebrae in his neck. Are you kidding me? Trying to stay in the race for the championship. Oh, man, wild get off. Not what you want when you're riding with a broken neck.
What a great horse. I mean, all that kick, all that air underneath those front feet. Eric really going at it. just comes off the fence. Nothing dirty meant, but just threw him right on that shoulder.
Good thing his foot came out. Did he have a little extra rein out there?
Well, I think so, but you know, it's hard to gracefully step off of one of those horses, especially when you got a broken neck and you know, his foot hung loose long enough. I was afraid he's going to test it.
All right, 81 is going to Jade Blackwell out of Rapid City on Mini War from Barty Rodeo Company. Little slow starts.
Yep, pop clutch.
I hear you smooching to that one.
We go.
Oh,
This is another new horse of Barty's, just young.
Oop.
This is a 6-year-old come down all the way from Utah.
Oh, take a picture.
And what a classy looking horse, classy bucking style. You know, those kind right there, those are the ones that you remember.
It certainly wasn't the same thing every jump.
It'd be
Forward.
great to get on that horse again. You know, like say it's a young horse. He figures out a pattern. He gets off the ground and kicks. It'd be nice to have at the final.
When that horse got into the fence and she balled up and jumped off there, he reached up and set those feet above the rein in that main line. And that right there is why they boosted that score so much. Yeah, she was a little bit easier to ride off the fence when she did that, but that cowboy sat up there and stuck his feet instead of hanging onto the cantle. He kept aggressive, kept going for that spur ride, and that's why they marked him 88 points.
Great ride, big score. Alan Boone from Utah will go next against One Robin.
This horse looks a lot like the horse Eric Wolford had, maybe a little bit older. You know, a lot of kick coming around there, circled to the left, stayed in front of the chutes. You know, just an overall great horse. Lots of kick across there, and he just sat up there and rode the horse. You know, I'd like to see him be a little bit more aggressive with those feet. He's kind of like just going through the motion, just in time with her.
Well, that horse before was just so much more exciting than this one. You almost have to create your own excitement with that horse.
Good point. Good point. 84.5, a solid score. Will it hang on for a Wrangler Final Four showdown round? As we go now to Ray Tom Myers, the number 5 rider of the season. He's out of Mills, Wyoming. He's going up against Tim Bridwell's Goliath.
Yeah, this horse, he's not like the rest of the pin. He's big and he's strong. He's going to be down the pin. He's going to really tug on him all the way, just like he's doing. But Ray Tom just sits up there and keeps charging that front end.
That horse bucks off a lot of top riders. Now, Ray Tom Myers out of Mills, Wyoming. He made the Wrangler Final Four showdown round 3 out of the last 5 events.
What a great start on a really hard-to-start horse. That horse kind of peeled around the post on him there. He held his feet all the way through that first jump, got a good seat underneath him, and then really made a great ride on a strong horse. And that's nice about the PRS. You know, you go anywhere else, have a hopper, you're probably going to win the event. You get a rank horse here, and you ride him that good, you're going to win the event.
That's his career high score of 85. Now to the number 3 rider this season, Jesse Williams of Passarova,
another hang.
California. He hang and rattles along the side of that horse for a while. That was Barty's painted image that got the best of him.
Man, he was starting a good ride. And, Cord, what do you think? It looks like he just kind of got hung up on that left stirrup. And
he hung and just put him plumb out of time. That's not what scared me. It was the get-off that scared me.
I'll tell you what scared me. He about had his foot run plumb through that stirrup. That's what scared me. That wasn't just a toe hang up. He about had his heel run through there.
Ooh, more baby powder in your boots.
I wasn't scared. He fights MMA.
Yeah, he is. He's an expert.
I won't talk bad about his riding then.
Let's go to the number 1 rider this season, J.J. Elsher on Frontier from Tim Bridwell. Good hit, good kick, great ride for the man who's trying to win the number 6 stop of the season.
Oh, man, when a horse comes out there and just sets up and really gets in the air like that, boy, you can just start seeing the dollar signs in front of you.
You
man,
see
is
the
that
veteran
fun.
in JJ right there. That horse set up. You see them swells just really jerk. And, I mean, he hit timing right off the bat. That's impressive ride.
You know the best part about that? When that horse left the chutes, her ears were forward the whole time. That horse loves to buck.
84 points, and my goodness, take a look. He just squeaks in to the Wrangler Final Four showdown round with a big ride. But it's all about Jade Blackwell of Rapid City, South Dakota. Goes up against Mini War for the round win. I bet he liked it.
She was pretty nice, stalled there at the start, and then kind of real high on her front end there for a little while, but I guess it was cool, I guess. When I was still on it right before the whistle blew, I could hear everybody, and I was right next to the stands there, and I was that's pretty cool.
Still to come from here in Portland, we'll look ahead to next week's Wrangler Final Four showdown round matchups. We're back in Portland, and here is where we stand for next week with our Wrangler Final Four showdown round matchups. Kelly?
You know, Brian Bainstein stands out to me. He made one of the most consistent rides I saw all week here. You know, he really used up the horse he had underneath him. He's got a horse called Raggedy Ann that he's got a love-hate relationship with. Either is first place or no place at all. So I look for him to boast a big score.
And in bull riding, Cord,
You got to be cheering for McKinnon Wimberley. He's hot right now, and he's got his sights set on a world title. When the snowball starts rolling down the hill, it just picks up speed.
well, you got to love a domino effect when the dominoes are falling the right direction, and they are for Wimberley. Let's talk saddle bronc riding, and you just can't keep J.J. Elsher out of that Wrangler Final Four showdown.
He's got a horse called Bitter Dan. It's a little bit strong down the pin, but I don't think there's a horse alive, 4 legs with a mane and tail, that can throw J.J. off right now. So go get him, J.J.
Our Kershaw Cutting Edge Performance highlight of the night, who do we got?
Oh, it's right back to the bronc riding there. That bronc riding was some exciting stuff to watch. Jade Blackwell on Mini War. I'm telling you, this rip bog her head and buck off the fence, and I bet you they got 100 good pictures on the front row.
There's nothing like the best ride, and there's nothing like a Kershaw. Now, our John Deere Big Buck of the night, which goes to the top performing animal. Kelly, who do you like?
My John Deere Big Buck of the night has got to go to Bartiz Tiger Lily. This is a phenomenal little mare. The only problem with that ride is I just wanted to see him ride her a little farther to see how ranked she got in 8 seconds.
You would have needed a little more duct tape and Velcro if you wanted to see him stay on a little longer. Our Big Buck of the night is sponsored by John Deere. Nothing runs like a deer, and I hate that we're going to have to run out of here, but stay with us because next week we're going to have the Wrangler Final Four Showdown round from Portland. For Cord McCoy and Kelly Timberman, thanks for being with us. I'm Justin McKee. See you next time.